Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Good afternoon. You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Mid-Cap Radar. The market's up about 30 points or so, 10,487. 7 points change in the Nifty, beg your pardon, 10,487. The values on my screen are correct, but the change is a little off. There is news at the bottom of the screen as we begin this edition of Mid-Cap Radar. This is March quarter-ended shareholding data, and we do put it out at the end of the quarter when companies disclose shareholding to exchanges. The name, of course, it's been well received. And we'd reported this. It was disclosed as part of the block deal when this had happened, when the purchase was made. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's name is appearing in the shareholding list with the 1.23% stake in the company. This is as of the end of March, and I think the shareholding data has just been put up on the website. So that is just FYI. 19.7 or so. It's up 2% plus. But back to the market, Rima, what's happening? Apart from, of course, the currency, which is moving.
Yes, indeed, rupee at a 5-month low, and that's helping the spirits of many of these IT companies. So despite fairly disappointing numbers from Infosys, HCL Technologies moved to the high point of the day. TCS continues with its gains. But even for a market, 7 good days on the trot. Today, you've got Asian markets under pressure. Hang Seng China down close to about 1.5% to 2%. And our own markets are staging a bit of a recovery. The Nifty is back into the green. The mid-caps are outperforming just a wee bit, so a gain of close to about 0.3%. And a lot of these consumption or names which are linked with perhaps a normal monsoon, if that comes through, then they could be beneficiaries. So you've got an Asian Paints, a Hero MotoCorp. These are names which are actually moving up. Okay,
Ashwini Gujral is with us. Ashwini, thanks very much for joining in. What's your sense? Again, very slow kind of day today.
Well, it's going to gather speed because whatever the forecast comes, the market is going to rally very sharply towards that forecast. Now, you have inflation which is dropping. If you get a monsoon forecast which is also very good, then that really kills inflation. So my sense is that the financials will rally strongly into the close. Also, rural plays like consumer and microfinance, etc. So everything rural plus financial, that's probably going to have a very good next couple of hours. So that way, Bank Nifty is the number one buy. Also, Nifty is likely to retest, Friday's highs. Even IT has recovered strongly. So that way, early morning consolidation is now likely to lead to, some sort of upside. Having said that, individual stocks, DCB is a buy with a stop of 182, target of 195. Repco Home is a buy with a stop of 620, target of 645. And Ujjivan Financial is a buy with a stop of 395, target of 410.
Ashwini, any thoughts on auto names? Because yet another day where the likes of Assoc, Hero MotoCorp are moving with strength.
Well, although I don't believe it, but the market generally thinks that good rainfall means Maruti goes up, Escorts goes up, etc. So autos is also kind of related to a rural play. So that way, anything consumer which goes to rural India, that's likely to do well in the next couple of hours.
Anything to do with rural India? Financials, any impact at all, as indirect as it may, but your sense?
See, obviously, inflation would tend to cool off if the rainfall is good. So, given that the financials are moving on the basis that, RBI reduced their inflation forecast, I think financials could also see impetus as we go into the close.
Okay. Thank you, Ashwini, for your time. We'll speak again in an hour. Let's focus a bit on Tata Motors. That's clearly the top loser today on reports that of JLR cutting jobs at its UK plant. To discuss this in greater detail, we're now joined by Ashwin Patil, the research analyst at LKP Securities. Ashwin, would you tie this news in with weakening demand, say for JLR products? Because the recent JLR retail numbers for the month of March were quite disappointing, with just a growth of close to about 8% in the month of March. So how would you read this news of jobs cut at JLR plant in UK?
See, we need to talk about, country-specific things, just like how it is happening in the UK markets. We know that there is a lot of slowdown, Brexit effect is there, and also some regulatory impositions on diesel vehicles have been laid. So these factors are already leading UK to put not so good kind of growth. If we see UK in the first 3 months, JLR has reported a drop of about 26%. And also, if you see in Germany, which is Europe's biggest car market, it has also slumped by about 32% in the same period. So we are seeing that a negative impact is, overall there in the European and the UK markets. And that's why, first of all, as I said, Brexit has led to a significant impact on the sales over there. Secondly, the government has laid, increase in excise duty on diesel vehicles, and diesel contributes about 90% of JLR vehicles and 38% of the overall industry. So if you consider these factors, then definitely the company, in order to save costs, or we may say cut costs, they will have to, they had to rather cut the employee cost of about 1,000 workers, which were on contract basis. So they have also said that maybe going forward, if things improve and as it is, their investment plan is quite in place, so they may recruit, engineers and all at higher levels, and they may get back things quite on track. So considering these factors, in order to maintain their profitability, they have taken this step.
Ashwin, this 4.5% cut on the stock that we are seeing, because a lot of what you're saying has been known for a while, right?
Yeah.
So what is,
I think, yes, these things are known, but when it comes to reality, the company themselves, these news are there in the market. We know that Tata's JLR sales are slumping and all. But when it comes to reality, it actually hurts the stock, because we know that the company has taken steps towards cutting costs and all. But the thing is that the street, they themselves cannot gauge the pulse of what exactly is happening on the dealer side, and the ground level reality we do not get from companies which are based out of export markets. So when it happens from the company's end, that gives a clear signal to us that definitely there is something going wrong on that part. So hence the stock has quite reacted.
The only reason I asked you that is because usually markets take cost rationalization moves positively. It could be painful. Across industries. Usually when that kind of news comes, it's. But of course, unless you're saying that the underlying is now being confirmed, that demand is weak, the news confirms that fact. Yeah.
That's what I said. The route is quite clear.
Right.
If the company is just doing it because of cost rationalization, or maybe RM prices are moving up, then it's quite understandable. But when the demand itself falters, the company when they take such price cuts, definitely there is something to a matter of concern, and therefore the one definitely looks at what the reason is for cost cutting. So if it's a weak or a negative reason, then definitely the stock will be reacting like this.
So does 340 in terms of the stock price today of Tata Motors adequately capture all the risks?
See, the stock has reacted quite a lot over the past few months. It has not even participated in the rally that we have seen in FY18. And, at this point in time also, there is some sort of risk, because we know that the numbers in UK are not coming good. Even in US, there is some sort of slowdown. In Europe also. So 3 major geographies which contribute about 60% or more than that, is that slight kind of, we can say, a risk. But on the other hand, China is doing well. Rest of the geographies are doing well. But overall, the home countries of this particular company, that is JLR, are not doing good. And that is one of the matter of concern. We may see some slight downside from these levels also if any other negative news comes. But on a long-term basis, I think it will be giving us an opportunity to buy into.
Okay, just one last question, and this is not about Tata Motors. We get the monsoon forecast today, the first from the Met, and we've been hearing chatter that if it's a decent forecast, it could support agri-related stocks, tractor companies, etc. Any thoughts in light of the performance they've already had in that part of the market?
See, this news we generally see every year in the months of March, April, May, etc. Till the monsoon hits the country, and after that again there is a change in estimates and also prima facie when such estimates come initially during the first rounds. I think that definitely the market reacts positively. All these pharma stocks, the agri stocks and the farm income related stocks, all these definitely do well. Just companies like Mahindra and Mahindra, Eicher, Assoc. So these companies, also the fertilizer stocks and all, they start reacting positively. But once the actual monsoon comes and hits the shores of Kerala and then comes forward, then only we'll be able to say that definitely what should we expect from the monsoons in a particular year.
Okay, Ashwin, thank you very much for that. Statements coming in from Finance Ministry officials. They may provide additional time over the prescribed 180-day limit for the bad loan resolution. So they're looking at tweaking some of the laws in the insolvency and bankruptcy code. I thought it's 180 plus 90, right? They anyway get a 90 days additional extension to resolve it. So I guess
actually.
It's 270 is the total. So I guess they're planning.
So maybe this is then 180 becomes a little longer, then on top of that you get that. I don't know what they exactly mean, but they're considering changes in the IBC code and may provide additional time over the 180 days.
I guess the cases are so large and complex that perhaps it's not easy to adhere to the time limit as prescribed by the court. It's a positive, putting a time limit to it, but I guess
it is that or all the legal challenges that you're flying around.
Yeah.
Right? In many cases what we've seen is the COC, the Committee of Creditors, arrives at something, and then
that's been challenged by.
Yeah, it's been challenged, and we've seen that. So sometimes unsuccessfully. We had the Supreme Court sort of saying that we're going to stay out of this Binani thing. But there's still lots of challenges, legal challenges, which are being made. We'll try and get you more from Sapna on that, exactly what it means. The flash
Actually,
is just coming in.
Newsrise, so I'm not.
Okay, that's a Newsrise flash. So, but anyway, we'll try and speak with officials in the ministry and get you more. We take a very quick break. The first on the show. We come back. The market is picked up actually 26 points.
On the way up now, so the Nifty's crossed that 10,500 mark. The Sensex is up nearly about 100 odd points, and it is a lot to do with the financials. So the two Bajaj twins, Bajaj Finance and Finserv, are moving with strength, a gain of close to about 1% Kotak Mahindra Bank has scaled a fresh 52-week high, and that's a rally of close to about 1.5% coming in over there. But let's get chatting with the management of Shobha after recording its strongest ever yearly sales in the Indian real estate market. Shobha Developers is now all set to make waves in the Dubai property market with the handover of the first phase of its ultra-luxury project, Shobha Heartland. CNBC TV 18's Kevin Lee caught up with the company's founder and chairman, Mr. PNC Menon, in Dubai, and began by asking him on the reports that he was looking to venture into other fields other than real estate. Here's a slice of that conversation.
I decided to, why go and do something else when you have so much of opportunity within the same domain. And for example, India, we can easily be $1 billion company. My son is at it. And similarly, we feel that we have got an opportunity to be $1 billion company here in Dubai only. So why look for other things, There are only 6,000 companies in the world which has got a top line of $1 billion.
So we've been speaking about some of your projects in Dubai. We've been speaking about some of your competitors in Dubai. When you look back at India, it's a very crowded market. There are a lot of real estate developers over there. Will RERA help in some sort of consolidation where we'll only see maybe 10 or 15 people who are actually serious about real estate development stick on and the rest just fade away? Do you think this is good?
See, because it's a large country and it is very difficult for builders or 20 builders to cover the whole country. So I feel that in the metros, the main metros of India, 6 or 8 cities of India, there could be probably about 25 or 30 developers. And the rest of the place, they'll still be there. They'll all start following the rules and regulations, which has become the requirement.
Okay, let's now speak about Dubai. You've been engaged in the Dubai real estate market for a long time, but your main project will be, I mean, the first phase will be completed by the middle of this year. You've gone from just doing contractual stuff and construction stuff to actually launching a full-fledged product. What are your expectations from Heartland?
This is in the heart of the city. We are only 3.5 kilometers from Burj Khalifa, which is the central point of the city today. And so we are in the heart of the city, and the development land, whatever we have, is good enough for the next at least 5 years.
Now, the focus on some of the projects within Heartland, I know there are various types of constructions, various phases, etc., is on the luxury and ultra-luxury thing. Is that the market that you think you need to target in Dubai over the next 5 or 6 years, or will you also be looking at the affordable segment and slightly at a lesser price range?
See, when I say affordable segment, it is actually the size of the unit. We have one policy that we don't want to compromise on the quality of the product. Specification does not drive the quality. The workmanship drives the quality. So we believe that in that segment, we have to definitely participate, and we should be in it hopefully within the next 1 or 2 years.
28 points on the Nifty, 0.25% higher, so not really going anywhere. But there are stocks moving around. HDFC is the latest one. It's a heavyweight. It's the bottom of the screen being highlighted for the move it's making. Remember, the big political story over the next 1 month is going to be elections, state elections, which are going to be held on the 12th of May in Karnataka. That's the polling date, so about a month left for it. And Congress, just a day earlier, came out with the list of its candidates who are going to be fighting elections. I think there are about 6 seats or so which they're going to announce in the second list. The Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaiah, has said that he's confident of forming the next government, speaking exclusively to Rukmani Rao, my colleague, at his constituency. The Chief Minister also rules out any post-poll alliance with the JDS. Listen in.
I never said that I am contesting from 2 constituencies. Did I ever said? No.
But there was a lot of speculation.
No, there was a speculation that I may be contesting from 2 constituencies. But I never said it.
But sir, are you confident this time around, or do you think the fight is going to be really tough? Is the fight going to be really tough this time around?
Who told you that really tough? On what basis you are telling that it is really tough?
Sir, what is your own take on the kind of surveys that have come out till now? Internally, what do you think the Congress is going to win at the
I have also surveys conducted. If village to village surveys conducted, I am going to win with clear majority.
Sir, your son, of course, has also gotten a ticket. Your son, of course, has gotten a ticket. On his political debut, as a father, what are you expecting, and what is your own expectation out of your son?
You see, people, the voters of that constituency, they want him to contest from that constituency. That's why he's contesting.
Sir, any indications of a post-poll alliance if required with JDS?
No. No. Congress party will get the clear majority.
Okay, with that, it's a wrap on this show. And as we do that, we leave you with some opinion that we got from Saurabh Mukherjee of Ambit Capital on the markets and earnings expectation. Thanks again for watching this show.
I would say fair value for the Nifty remains around the 9,000 level, and for the Sensex around the 30,000 level. So I think we were wildly overvalued. I think the market was 20% overvalued in January. We've corrected half of that overvaluation, but I still believe that fair value for the Nifty would be somewhere around 9,000, and for Sensex around 30,000. Now, whether that will fructify next month or next year, I can't give you any sort of great clarity on that. But I do believe this market is overvalued given the underlying fundamentals. The economy is recovering, but the recovery is more than fully baked into stock prices. I don't think we should expect too much from this earnings season. I think the earnings recovery, such as it is, will fructify next year. Given the underlying pace of economic improvement, I think it's looking relatively certain that next year FY19 we should get double-digit earnings growth.